Hi everyone, my name is Lilian and I'm a recent survivor of the COVID-19. There are some lessons that we can learn together, so that's why I decided to do this recording. It happened on the 9th of July when my eldest son was COVID-19 positive. So he was at home quarantine and I was taking care of him. At that point of time, I kind of view it pretty lightly. So I remember going into his room twice, but with my mask on. So we also took ivermectin. At that point of time, the batch I had was from India. Ivermectin, we took vitamin D3, 2000 IU, and vitamin C. So, but one by one went down with COVID-19. My third son got it and then my second son. So I was busy taking care of them. All of them were isolated in their own rooms. And didn't realize not too long after that, my husband got it. He began to have fever and then he lost his appetite. And then I was also experiencing losing appetite. But I was so busy caring for each and every one of them, I sort of neglected myself. And in fact, my boys were recovering well, the three of them. But both me and my husband took a worse turn. On the 18th of July, still remember, my husband spit up some blood and was breathless. And I was also breathless. So my eldest son, panicked, decided that he need to rush us to the hospital. So he called for the ambulance. 2 ambulances arrived and took us straight away to Subang Hospital. Now we were transported into the Subang Hospital, into a makeshift ward, which was already overpacked with people. My husband was put at a corner with a bed, in a tight corner with another 3 other beds next to him. He was put on the oxygen support and was left at the corner. And I was very unfortunate because I didn't even have a bed. So I was put on a wheelchair directly opposite him. For 2.5 days, I was on a wheelchair. I wanted to say that what I saw in our 4 days in Sudan is very sad, because I totally understand about the manpower shortage, but what I saw was also a neglect on the part of the frontliners, because they were totally lack of care for the patients. For 2 days, both me and my husband don't have water, hardly have any water, and we don't have any edible food to eat. The food that came around was spicy food, like kway teow spicy, mee hoon spicy, fried rice spicy. The moment it reaches our hand, we were so hungry, but we just couldn't eat. And there was not enough water. Every time we asked for water, oh, tak ada air, kena tunggu. So for 2 days, we hardly had any water. When I was so thirsty, I called for any water. And what they can give us is the box drink, like the yolks and all that. So I was thankful that I can even have that and get them to pass on to my husband, because I didn't have the strength to walk across the room to give it to him. On the 3rd day, as usual, you know, the food that we passed around were unedible. So I tried to call for Grab food. I thought I'd just give it a try. and I ordered some porridge for myself and my husband. And I managed to get somebody, one of the nurse, to help me get the food from outside from the Grab. When it reaches my hand, I was about to eat. A grown-up man. Behind me, there were another 4 beds. So a grown-up man cried out to me and said, "Can I know how you get this?" I was already so tired because I didn't get to sleep, right? I don't have a bed. I said, I grabbed, and he said, "Can you tell me how to do it?" I was already so hungry and tired. I just told him, "It's okay, I'm going to give you half the porridge that I have." So that was how bad the situation inside there is. The conditions were horrible. I was placed seated next to the rubbish dump where they throw the rubbish and all that, and where they remove their PPE garment. And because these people were so, they don't have strength to even walk to the toilet, which is very far away, and not to mention the condition of the toilet, because one of the night I was wheeled there, it was terrible condition. Because of the state that most of the people in, they were breathless and they were without strength because there's hardly any water and food that goes around. This grown-up man has to do his business next to me practically. There's a wash basin there, and he just did his business there, and I used the water to wash. So imagine the infectious rate we are all exposed to. Already we are fighting for our lives. And I can tell you, every day, I'm looking, I witness people die every day. And I can tell who is going next. From the way they breathe, I can tell. But I'm helpless. I couldn't even help the people. I will be watching out for them. Sometimes some of them will falling off the bed. Some of them will requiring help. Because I don't have a bed, I was awake most of the time. So I'll call out to the nurse, "Nurse, please help this person. Nurse, please help that person." I was calling out for help. But I can tell you, most of the people were practically left with their oxygen tank. And of course, they come around twice a day to jab you with whatever steroid jab. But that's about it. And given the condition, the unhygienic condition that we were faced, and the lack of food and water that goes around, I can tell you that I was even thinking to myself, if both me and my husband don't get out to a private hospital, we probably won't be able to survive there. And what I saw every day really saddens me. I mean, I just felt that our government hospital shouldn't be at this state that we are in right now. People are practically dying inside there. I don't know how they can survive in that condition. So we were very thankful because we have many friends who were trying to get hospital beds for us for private hospital. So on the 4th day, both me and my husband has a private hospital, 2 different private hospitals decided to take us in. So I believe that, that was a chance to survive again. Of course, due to the neglect in the Subang hospital, both me and my husband admitted to the private hospitals straight away into the ICU. And my condition was pretty bad. 80% of my lungs were infected. My both lower lungs are not functioning. And the doctor was cautioning me that I'm pretty critical. And if I don't do well in a day or two, they might intubate me. And that will be a 50-50 chance. So the doctor says I have to work hard. And I did. I was proning, sleeping on my stomach practically for 16 hours a day. and I was doing breathing exercises. This is my effort to fight at the same time. So, and of course, I was taking the ivermectin not from India anymore. I took a higher efficacy, higher quality ivermectin, and I took 3 capsules a day. And of course, I took some of my other supplements, which to boost up my immunity and also anti-inflammation. So I did that. And when I was admitted, I was told by the doctor that one of the important reading in my medical report is the C-reactive protein. My reading was 173, and according to the doctor, that is a very, very high reading and critical. So what happened was, as I mentioned, I was taking ivermectin then, 3 capsules a day, and of course I took my other supplements, which was recommended by my doctors in the US. So my reading went from first day 173, within 6 days went down to 11, and on the 8th day it went down to untraceable. So my doctor will surprise herself seeing how fast the reading went down. So I was 11 days in the ICU needing high flow oxygen support, and then after that I reduced to the normal oxygen support. And I was back to the transferred to the normal ward on the 12th day, and on the 14th day I was discharged from the hospital because I was only needing 5L oxygen support, and I'm doing very well. So this is my experience that I'd like to share with you. But what I learned from this entire thing is this. Many of us took the virus, the COVID-19, pretty lightly. So I'd like to share this with you because it's important. The first thing we need to do right now is, there is test kits to test whether a person is COVID-19 positive. They are selling it in the pharmacies right now. You can get those and put it in your house. And the moment you feel uncomfortable, maybe there's a sore throat or feverish and all that, straight away do a test on yourself. The moment you're tested COVID-19 positive, please do not self-quarantine at home. Please isolate yourself straight away. Do not put the rest of your family at risk, because my entire family were down with COVID one by one, and both me and my husband got it worst. We nearly lost our lives. Because of the variants right now, especially the Delta, it is very deadly. So do not take it lightly, please. There is a service right now by the hotels. It's www.safeq.quarantine.com. A list of hotels are available. So you can actually check in to any of those hotels where they provide doctors and nurses care to monitor your condition for 10 days the moment you are positive for COVID-19, usually the initial stage. And this is how you quarantine yourself. Do not self-quarantine at home because you do not want to endanger the other family members. I've heard of a case where the husband quarantined at home. The entire family got it, and all of them were in ICU, and the husband died, while the rest of the family are still fighting their lives in the ICU. I also heard of cases where people died in their homes, and nobody knows. They just died, right? So this is not something that we want to take lightly right now. So please take this precaution. Another thing is, if you require hospitalization, or your friends or your loved ones, please, if possible, avoid going to the government hospitals. I'm sorry I have to say this, because I was inside there. I experienced myself the sad state our government hospitals are in right now. Not just Subang Hospital. My friends who were in other government hospitals are relating similar stories to me. The sad state that our government hospitals are at is totally not a conducive place for a COVID-19 patient trying to survive. So try getting into a private hospital. Advise your loved ones and friends. If they cannot afford, money is secondary. Ask them get admitted and then get their family members to raise funds, because we are talking about life and death here, right? If you are in a private hospital, you will get proper care, chances of survival, and of course, with proper hygiene, chances of survival is very, very high. So I'm sharing this because I feel that it's very important that each and every one of us need to know. And of course, let's hope that those of us who were in the government hospitals experience, let's hope that we all can come together and do something to make a change so that we can see change in the government hospitals, the state of the government hospitals. You know, the government hospitals are there to provide for the rakyat who do not have, who lack resources, who don't have funds, and they have no place to go. And that is the function of our government hospitals, is to provide the care, the hospital care for the rakyat. But unfortunately, we are seeing the lack of care, the terrible state, the unhygienic conditions that the patients are being subjected to when they are admitted. And many died. So it's a sad state. I witnessed myself, and I really wish and pray that we can do something about it together. So I just want to say that let's continue to take care, stay safe, and everyone come together to help each other. Share your experiences so that many more people will learn from it and survive. Thank you so much.